There has never been a time in human history when we could reach thousands of people with a single tap. We can send a message across the world in seconds. We can see someone's life from the other side of the planet. We can join communities we've never visited. And yet, millions of people have never felt more alone. Think about that. How can the most connected generation become the loneliest one? Maybe loneliness isn't the absence of people. Maybe it's the absence of being truly known. Imagine walking through a crowded city. Thousands of people surround you. Cars pass by. Phones glow in every hand. Conversations fill the air. From a distance, it looks like connection. But look a little closer. Almost everyone is looking down. Scrolling. Replying. Consuming. Present in body. Absent in attention. Modern loneliness rarely looks dramatic. It doesn't always mean sitting alone in a dark room. Sometimes it looks like laughing in a crowded restaurant while feeling completely unseen. Sometimes it looks like having hundreds of online followers, but no one you would call at 2 in the morning. Sometimes it looks like living with people, yet feeling emotionally invisible. Psychologists have long understood that human beings don't simply need social contact. We need meaningful connection. There's a difference. You can spend an entire day surrounded by people and still feel profoundly lonely. Because conversation isn't the same as understanding. Attention isn't the same as presence. And communication isn't always connection. Somewhere along the way, many of us became experts at staying in touch, but beginners at truly staying close. The modern world rewards speed, quick replies, short videos, constant updates. But relationships grow differently. They grow slowly, through silence, shared experiences, long conversations, moments without distraction. The strongest relationships aren't built through constant communication. They're built through consistent presence. Another quiet truth about loneliness is this. Many people aren't afraid of being alone. They're afraid of being seen. Because genuine connection requires vulnerability. It asks us to remove the carefully constructed version of ourselves, the successful version, the funny version, the confident version, and simply become human. That's uncomfortable, but it's also where real relationships begin. Imagine carrying a mask every day. At first, it feels protective. Eventually, it becomes exhausting. Because no one can truly know the person behind the mask if it never comes off. Perhaps that's why so many people feel isolated despite being surrounded by others. They're connected to people, but disconnected from themselves. Technology isn't the enemy. It has allowed families to stay close across continents, ideas to travel instantly, friendships to survive distance. The problem begins when digital connection quietly replaces human presence. A message cannot replace a hug. A reaction cannot replace eye contact. A notification cannot replace belonging. Loneliness also changes the way we see the world. When we feel disconnected for long enough, the mind begins creating stories. No one understands me. No one would notice if I disappeared. I'm bothering people. These thoughts feel convincing, but feelings are not always facts. The mind often mistakes isolation for rejection, and that misunderstanding becomes another wall between us and the people who genuinely care. The good news is that loneliness is not a permanent identity. It's a signal. Much like hunger tells us we need food, loneliness reminds us we need connection. Not more followers. Not more notifications. Not more entertainment. Connection. Sometimes that begins with sending one honest message, making one phone call, taking one walk with someone instead of scrolling alone, listening without checking your phone, looking someone in the eyes long enough for them to feel seen. Small moments often change lives. One meaningful conversation can succeed where 1,000 casual interactions fail. Perhaps the answer to modern loneliness isn't finding more people. Perhaps it's becoming more present with the people already in our lives. Because in the end, life is rarely measured by how many people knew your name. It's measured by how many people truly knew your heart. And maybe the greatest success isn't building a larger audience. Maybe it's building a smaller circle where no one has to pretend. So if you've been feeling lonely lately, know this: you are not the only one. Millions of people are quietly carrying the same feeling. The difference is that healing often begins when someone decides to reach out first. Maybe that someone can be you. This is the quiet upgrade. Small shifts, extraordinary lives. Until next time, put the phone down, look someone in the eyes, listen a little longer, and remind the people you love that they're not alone.